save the bone. A lot of chefs save the bone and make the duck stock, but since we got so much chicken stock, nobody ever used duck stock because duck stock is a little bit more gamier than chicken stock, and it could throw you off. You see what I'm saying? So here's the neck. Here's the liver. That's why if you go to farmer market, you could buy some pate, right? And there should be some kidney and heart and gizzard. I don't see it. There's a gizzard. Okay, so with that said, I just want to show you this. See this fat right here? That's going to be the first thing you're going to do. You're going to cut off this fat. This fat is where the neck come in. Okay? See, here's the neck. Yes? They de-skin it for you. So you got all this fat, right? The first cut you're going to do is cut. See how much stuff? After I drain all that, I still have a whole bunch. So you're going to cut all this fat out so I could render. I'm going to have a tub of fat where you guys should just dump it in, okay? So cut off all this fat, save this fat, because we're going to render that, yes? And as a matter of fact, it's just like pig skin, where you could fry them like chicharron. You could do the same thing with duck fat. Yeah, after you render it, you could deep fry it or dry it out. Okay, same thing, but remember on the chicken, if you want to French them, you're going right on the first wing, right underneath the and break it opposite and pull it down, but we're not going to do that. Yes? I just want to show you this way you got to refresh some of the chicken since we're not doing any more chicken. Okay, if you look at it, the duck fat is much thicker, okay? They got the same thing, oyster. If you don't know where oyster is, just kind of push. It's just like your butt cheek. It's a little bit more soft, right? Yeah? Yes? Yeah. It's right here. So you want to go right across it, come straight on down toward the end to create that T. So one side of the cheek is on that T, the other side of the cheek is on this T, just like the oyster. Just like the tenderloin. Yes? Okay? So this is what you're going to do. The first cut, you're going to cut the legs from the breast. So what you're going to do is push down your hand, because if you cut it, the skin might spring back a little bit, expose the breast meat. You follow what I'm saying? You want to have all the extra skin to cover the meat. This way it will protect. Yes? Yes. So you cut it in an angle, like a V shape, like the chicken. Yes? Yes. Like so? So far so good? Yes. Okay? So once you get that, now you're going to cut out. You're going to flip it over to create a T. Remember the T on the chicken? You locate what your oyster is, right? And then you create that T. Yes? Yes. Okay? So right here I create the T, right? So now I'm going to create the letter T by drawing it straight down toward the bottom, toward the tail. So far so good? Yes. Yes? Now once I did that, I'm going to break the leg from the hip bone. Leg from the hip bone. Okay, one at a time. Don't try to be cute. Don't try to do both. Then you're going to break the whole back. Break the leg from the hip bone. You see that? Yes? Yes. So once it's broken, you're going to do the other side. Again, support the back, because you don't want to break the back. You still could fabricate it with the back broken, but it's a little bit more tough. Break it until the leg broke from the hip bone. Yes? Okay, now Most of you guys yesterday, you hold your boning knife like this. If you're gonna fabricate something, choke it down. This is what I mean by choked it down. This way you just use a tip, is more control. Don't hold it back here. You don't have as much control as if you choke it down, because mainly you're just gonna use this tip. You follow? Yes? Okay, now that I break the legs, the first thing I wanna do is locate the top of the oyster. Locate with my index finger, locate the top of the oyster. Yes? Once I locate the top of the oyster, I'm going to use the tip of the knife to slit it open so it's more like open the door for me to get in there. And then I use the finger to scoop it out, either your thumb or your index finger to scoop out the meat. Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, again, I locate my oyster, the top of my oyster, I give it a little bit slit. Right? I give it a little bit slit. Yes?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to turn the duck on the side where I could see where my legs split from my hip bone. So far, so good?
Yes.
It's going to be the same thing as chicken. See, once you pass that hip bone, you literally could pull the meat like this. Yes?
Yes.
That's the leg. Go ahead, cut off, trim off some of the fat, because I'll use it to render for the confit. Okay? So this is my leg with my oyster. Yes? Now I'm going to repeat the other side. Again, I already broke the leg from the hip bone. Yes? Now, I'm going to locate the top of the oyster with my index finger, the tip of my index finger, and then I'm going to slit it open to get started. Yes? And now, I'm going to cut right through the hip bone that I broke, and from here, you literally could pull the whole meat. Yes? And now I'm going to trim it out a little bit, because all that fat, I'm going to be able to use it to cook the duck confit, which is cooking the duck leg. Okay? So far, so good? Okay, that's my second duck leg. Okay? Now, I'm gonna flip the bird over. Some chef take off their wishbone from beginning. Like I said, I do mine later. So what you're gonna do is this, cut right in the middle. Remember, just like your chicken, keel bone, right in the middle. At least this duck, you can see this groove right here, which is the middle, okay? Again, don't cut it too hard, because remember, the keel bone is, although it's called bones, but it's very soft that your knife will go right through it, right? If your knife go right through it, it just make it difficult to fabricate afterward. So watch out. Just slit enough so the meat and the skin split out, so you know where you're going with it. Again, choke down your knife a little bit, like what I'm doing, right? I put my index finger on top of my boning knife so I know where I control, and I'm controlling. I'm just using the tip of my knife, quarter of my knife only. Yes? So far, so good?
Yes.
All right, so now I'm gonna cut directly right in the middle. Directly right in the middle. Wherever the meat fall off first, then I'm gonna go on that section. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
And remember, the keel bone is white, so you use the whole claw to pull out the meat while you slit it open. Yes? You know what I'm talking about? While you slit it open, you open it up with your claw. Yeah? Again, I'm going through like so. If you do this right, you're gonna see that it's all white. The bone, okay? And again, you're gonna come through this bone, which is called the exit bone. See, this is the wishbone. I'm not going to try to disturb. I'm just going around it. Again, see this exit bone right here, although it's red, that's just like your collarbone, okay? If you slide your knife straight down, you're going to take it out, okay? It's the same thing as chicken. Remember, the chicken also have that, right? So now you just slide your knife down like so, and then you got your first duck breast.
Is there a tenderloin on there also?
Yes, because the tenderloin, remember, they live right here on this side of the keel bone. I will show you that in a minute. See, right here, the tenderloin. See that? Each one of them will have 2 tenderloin. Yes? Okay, so now I'm finished that side. See how nice and white that is, right? That's show that you did it right. See that? It should be white like that because the bone is white, right? And this is where the tenderloin live. So if you cut too deep into the meat, you're gonna leave all that tenderloin stuck here. Make sense? Right? That's why on your midterm and your final, I could walk by and see if you cut real good or not by looking at the size of the tenderloin. Make sense? Okay? So now I'm going to do this side. So I'm going to stay right in the middle, close to the middle of the bone, close to this top right here, right? So again, I'm going to run my knife gently, because if you hit it too hard, what happened? It's going to cut right through the bone, right? So once I cut through, see how skinny the ridge is. See how skinny, again, just use a tip of a quarter of your boning knife. You don't need to use the whole knife, because when you fabricate meat or anything like that, a quarter of them should do the job, okay? Again, this is where you come in and see it. This is come toward your exit bone. This is your wishbone. See, you could take it out earlier, or you could just leave it on there and just work around it. You see that wishbone, right? So again, once you come up to about here, this is where your exit bone. See that exit bone? Yes? Yeah. All you have to do is just slide your knife straight on down. Make sense?
Yes.
See this? See, the duck, here's the keel bone, right? Here's a tenderloin, yes? Tenderloin. Here's a keel bone. Yeah? Here's a wishbone, exit bone. Yes?